to Kimmie's Kitchen. Now, this is the dessert show that puts the ease back into baking. And today, I have a wonderful guest, a good friend of mine, Miss Wendy Raquel Robinson. Welcome to Kimmie's Kitchen. Yes, you did. Hey, sweetie.
How are you, honey?
I'm great. I'm so glad you made it. Well, you know what? This is the kitchen show, and we're basically what I'm doing is I like to put the ease back into baking. A lot of people are fearful of baking.
That would be me.
Okay, so we're gonna just, take all that fear out.
Okay, well, good luck. With me.
Well, okay. Well, tell us a little bit what's going on with Wendy Raquel Robinson these days.
Wow. Actually, I'm back in theater.
Great.
So I just finished doing the play Extremities. We did it at the National Black Theater Festival, and we're doing it in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So I'm really, really excited about that. And Amazing Grace Conservatory is a company that I co-founded about 14 years ago.
Wow.
And we've just been doing some amazing thing with young people.
Amazing.
So.
Great. You know what? We had one of your young guys on here earlier.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man.
Oh,
yeah, he came on here to tell us about jerking and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's part of our chocolate chip cookie show.
Amazing talent.
Oh,
Amazing talent.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I see then the school must do some.
circle.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Well, let me explain some of the ingredients because we're going to make sweet potato pie.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Because you know that's it.
I love me some sweet potatoes.
Okay, well, this is how we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work out our sweet potato pie. Of course, you got to have the sweet potatoes. Now, they come like this, but we cooked them. We peeled them, as my grandpa would say. You got to peel them, you got to peel them, and you got to cook them, and you got to mash them.
Mash them.
Mash them.
Not mash.
Not mash. You got to
them.
mash them real
Mash
good.
'em.
See, so that's mashed real good. And then we have our butter. We've got our brown sugar. We've got eggs. And what I do is I like to separate my eggs.
What do you mean?
Well, I've got my egg yolks here, and then I've got my egg whites here, and we're gonna incorporate these egg whites into the pie.
I thought you said this was the easy.
It is. It is the Easy Bake Show. It is the Easy Bake Show. Yes, it is. And then we've got a little salt. We got some cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger.
Wow.
That's my little hidden secret, a little ginger. Gives it a little pop. Yes, and evaporated milk. I like evaporated milk. A lot of people use whole milk, but I think evaporated milk just kind of gives it a nice little, I don't know, twang.
Oh, really?
My own little twang. And then we've got a little vanilla extract.
Fabulous. Now, you know you have to go really
I am. So first thing we want to do is we're going to add in all this stuff. We're going to put in our sweet potatoes.
How many sweet potatoes did you use?
I used about 3 or 4 small ones.
Okay.
Or you could use 2 big ones. Uh-oh, I'm gonna scrape that on off. You didn't see that, right? You didn't see that. Okay.
2 seconds.
It go back in. Yeah, it go right on back in there. All right, so we're gonna put that in there. We'll put in our egg yolks.
Now, why do you separate the yolks and the whites?
It really makes you'll see as we bake it, it's gonna make it really fluffy. And because what we're going to do is we're going to beat those egg whites and we're going to make them so that they're stiff and like fully formed. Wow. And that sugar's going to make them like a meringue almost. And then you fold that into the pie, and then the pie is more like a chiffon pie. It's so light, it's so airy, it's so really good. Yes.
And this is the Easy Bake.
It is the Easy Bake Show.
I love it.
This my auntie Cookie's recipe.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My auntie Cookie.
She
does the sweet potato pies.
But I mean, yeah, this is a whole other level of
okay.
experience for me.
Well, I got different little, methods to my madness. So, first of all, I'm gonna do this. Let's just mix this part up, and we're gonna incorporate these two together. All these. This was the butter, that was the sweet potatoes, and that was the brown sugar. And we just let that kind of blend in well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So how'd you get started in the business?
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've always been acting and dancing since I was a kid.
Okay.
I started in my backyard, actually.
Really?
After I graduated from Howard University, it was really difficult coming back to Los Angeles because I'm born and raised in LA.
Oh,
and
okay.
After I came back from Howard University, came back to LA, it was really disheartening because it was so difficult to get an agent. It was so difficult to really, and I had the training, but sometimes you need the right opportunity.
Wow, yes.
And the funny thing, I went out on the road doing theater with a play called Beauty Shop.
I remember that play. Yeah, I remember that play. Yeah.
But the great thing about it, I met a gentleman that was in the show at the time, and he introduced me to his agent once I got back.
Okay.
And as things would go, here we are. I've been with her for almost 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much how I got started, and then one thing kind of led to the other, and I lucked up and did a little show called the Steve Harvey Show. The Steve Harvey Show, you know, Cedric the Entertainer was on that.
Right.
And he had a sketch show.
Yes.
I like to do characters.
Yeah,
and things like that. So,
okay.
I mean, you know, of course I had to audition, but then I got that. And
the rest is, as they say.
As it is.
Yeah. So we just added in, so that we put in the spices, and that's salt.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all I just did in that next step. I just put in all of our spices and our salt and 1 teaspoon of our vanilla extract. Okay. Just 1 teaspoon, and that's
now,
just blended and incorporated.
Do you have your recipes memorized, or do you?
I do, and sometimes I, mix and match, and I, figure out something else, and I'll play around with different spices, and play around with different techniques. Now we're gonna add the evaporated milk. So we're gonna continue this recipe. You're gonna love this, and I'm gonna show you all about popping and doing that whole thing together. We're gonna. Yeah, you're gonna love that. Okay. That's gonna be perfect. That's gonna be perfect. You're gonna be the sweet potato queen after this
for the holiday.
That's right. You're gonna surprise your mom. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Let me try to surprise my husband.
Yeah, that'll work too. Now I started the whole little making the egg whites. So that's what we're doing. We're making the egg whites. And this is basically, the same thing that you have for lemon meringue pie. That's all it is basically sugar and egg whites.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and then you just bake it, and it makes that nice peaky white stuff on top.
I had no idea.
So, I know you work with a lot of youth.
Oh, yeah.
So what is your advice for, like, aspiring young actors that are out there?
Wow. I guess the biggest thing is to remain passionate about what you do, because it's not the easiest business to get into. And if you're passionate about what you do, that passion will sustain you.
Right,
Train. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, I'm still in classes now, So become a master of your craft, and not be afraid to push the envelope, not be afraid to step outside of a box and try something different, you know? It wasn't until I got to Los Angeles that TV has a way of trying to box you into certain characters and things like that. I was always a dramatic actress,
Oh,
and
really?
I mean, I would cut up with my friends and stuff like that, and timing is a gift, but when Steve Harvey Show came along, and actually before that, I was on another show, it was a sitcom too. It was called Minor Adjustments. A lot of times it's easier to get into the half-hour format in starting out, but for me it wasn't. That's my story. But just don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to really push the envelope, so to speak, and even when the hard times come, there's always theater. There's always ways that you can survive in this business, even if you're not on television. You can create a show,
Hey, you can have a cooking show. How about that?
Or I can write a how-to book, So it's like there are just so many ways to utilize your gifts and your crafts. So don't get discouraged, ever. Get in a play.
Love that.
I'm back in extremities, and it's opening other doors for me in that capacity, and producing. With
or having people see you now as that dramatic actress that you started off being.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the sky is the limit. And also remember, there's no finish line in this business, so don't feel like
I love that.
I have to have it right now.
Yes.
And that's the greatest thing, is that there's no finish line. Who's to say when your time is?
Exactly.
I always look at Morgan Freeman, he was on Electric Company, and
I watched that man on Electric Company.
Okay, me too.
Hello.
So
and now look at him.
It's really encouraging.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, like, this is a pie shell that I already had ready to go.
See, I'm just running my mouth. So you just pour that into here.
That just goes in there, and we just kind of lightly blend it in there with it. And then this pie shell, I just kind of made that a little ahead of the time, You
made the pie shell.
You make the pie shell.
See, I would have bought it and unfroze it.
And we're gonna. That's fine too.
Okay.
That's fine too. There's no rules. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely no rules. So we're gonna put that in there. Smell that? You smell that? Yeah, you smell those spices. Smell all those spices going in there. And that's going to be art. Now, this is a deep dish. You can make them, a little smaller than this, because this is a deep dish pan. So usually the regular pans are about an inch high. This is about maybe almost 2 inches tall. Ooh. So we're having a deep dish. Yes. So we're going to start it out at 300. And
Do you preheat your ovens?
I always preheat my ovens.
Okay.
We always preheat it. So we're gonna start this one out at 400, and it's gonna bake for that for about 10 minutes. And that just kind of like has it all just kind of blend and settle in. Then we're gonna turn it down to about 350, and we'll bake it for another 30 minutes.
So what does the temperature have to do?
Well, I think that high degree makes it kind of like, you know, that egg white, makes that egg white kind of go like almost explode in the oven.
Okay.
And then by raising it down, it makes
puts the potato pie on steroids.
It do. That's exactly what it does. And then what happens then the rest of it, just the whole baking process of the 350 makes it say, okay, now let's get it done. So we go poof, and then let's get it done. Yeah, exactly, exactly. This is what I like to call our 6 degrees of baking. This is when we take our same dessert that we're making today, which today is sweet potato pie, and we're making it into 6 different desserts. Well, number 1, of course, is our sweet potato pie. Now, number 2 is what I like to do is like a simple parfait. I use a little ginger snaps. I just crunch them up a little bit, take a little, you know, mallet or something that you use for your meat, crumb them up a little bit, layer it with a little ginger snaps, with a little sweet potato filling, and then you put a little bit of whipped cream, and then you repeat that again. Then maybe just put a little ginger snap on top just for a little flavor. Then the marshmallows here represent our sweet potato pond. Now that is something that I got from my grandmother. My grandmother used to make a beautiful little pudding, and she called it sweet potato pond. You know, like a pond like you swim in. And basically it was just the filling of the sweet potato, but she would just cover the top of it with marshmallows, just to die for. And then this right here is our cream cheese, which represents our little tart. And what I did was I took a little of that cream cheese and I added a little vanilla and a little sugar, kind of blended that together, made a layer of cream cheese, and then put that sweet potato on top, refrigerated it, take it out of the stick, and it's got that little ginger snap also as a crust. Very good. And then we also took these wonderful pecans, and what we did was we made a streusel top right on top of our pecans, and it makes a wonderful, wonderful surprise for your pecan pie, or not your pecan pie, but your sweet potato pie in this instance. And then speaking of surprise, there's this dessert called sweet potato surprise. And basically you take the marshmallows and the coconut, and you take your filling and just kind of make it into a ball, roll it in that marshmallow, roll in that coconut, bake it. Surprise, a great dessert. 6 degrees of baking here at Kimmie's Kitchen. Well, Miss Wendy.
Yes, Miss Kim.
This is when I like to ask the guests to kind of rate their baking skills.
Rate my what? On a
well,
scale
you know,
of 1
a
to
scale
10?
to like, well, how about canned biscuits versus bacon biscuits? What do you prefer?
About canned biscuits. Well, no, only you in terms of what I can do.
Yes.
Now I can
like with confidence.
You know what's funny? I've never been a baker.
That's okay.
I mean, Pillsbury dough has been a very good friend of mine.
And that's okay. Because I'm telling you, if you put some butter on that and rock some cinnamon sugar on that, you got a nice little breakfast treat right there.
I didn't know.
See, that's what I'm telling you. Don't slip. Don't slip.
6 degrees of separation. That's what I have.
That's good. But that's all good.
So, yeah, I'm not, and as much as I love desserts and fresh baked desserts, and, you know, I've had your stuff and I love it to death, but I've never, I think it's a gift that certain people have. You know, it's a knack that they can have in the kitchen.
Do you think also it might be that slight fear?
Yeah, I am a little intimidated.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because.
So I always say start small, you know?
Really?
Start in baby steps. Start with, like, your favorite cookie and work your way up there.
From scratch?
Yeah, from scratch. You can do it. You can do it. And now we've got our finished product, our sweet potato pie. Just in time,
deep dish.
Okay.
Put that on
there. Deep dish. And then this is our streusel top sweet potato pie right there. That's got the pecan streusel on top of there. That's the tart we talked about with that little cream cheese in there. Now this was our surprise. It was supposed to be a ball, but we're gonna make it into a tart today. So that's got the marshmallows and the coconut on there, and that is grandmama's sweet potato pond.
You know, like a pond.
Because it's a pond, like you swim in. And then this is our wonderful parfait. We've got our ginger snaps, whipped cream ginger snaps, and then that sweet potato layered.
Oh my gosh.
And this is it. This is how we do it.
No, this is how you do it. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. This is fabulous.
Well, thank you so much for coming and being a part of Kimmie's kitchen. So let's see, what you want to partake? A little tart,
I want a little bit of everything.
Okay, well, let's do that. No, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay.
Potatoes, that's my.
All right. So, Wyman, we're going to start this off, and we're going to save you, what, 2 or 3 pieces of pie? 2? All right. You got that. You got that, Wyman. All right. Well, we're going to start it off. Thank you so much for joining us today in Kimmie's kitchen. We'll see you next time. We're baking in the kitchen here.
You eat in the kitchen.
Yeah, let's put that. Yeah, we're going to do that. Look at that. See, look at the see that. There you go. Yes, yes.
How do you get it so crisp?
That's that ginger snap crumbs. Yeah, you put a little butter in the ginger snaps, and then that just makes that happen just like that. Let's cut into this one too and see how that one's looking. Ooh, yeah.
I just want to make one dance.
Yeah, right?
It's so good. Now that's pecans.
This is the pecans, yeah. So just almost like a pecan.
God, this is ridiculous.
Yeah?
Kimmie!
That's me, Kimmie's kitchen. Well, at Kimmie's Kitchen, we always like to give you a little technical term. And today we're going to talk about the yam versus the sweet potato. Because even though it's called a sweet potato pie, really, this is a sweet potato. So if you made the pie out of the sweet potato, it's going to be kind of yellowy in color. So what we like to do is we like to use what we call here in America the yam, because it gives it that nice orange golden color. So basically, I guess you really should call it a yam pie. Right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Wow.